Andy, at the same.
Ah,
I never to be a for the mamma for. Is a debut simple fruits. Yes, number for a busa honsam.
Yes. I say, Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Why do we make it look like Barcelona is closer to Madrid?
Yeah.
Naimomani is Milan rather, because the only metric that we can use to measure the two teams here because of the Champions League.
Yeah.
I never call a football fan. I also what I say and say, and Emma be a cosuo game, and untin and pimpy, yet team get to a binitin Kessben. Now more bar, Ogunsa yigiti. So here sources are remembered that Chopo Champions League in the Spanish La Liga. Almost far ahead of Barcelona. But the mob Barcelona Real Madrid it to the beer, ye kabum ye the rivalry between the two.
Okay.
How the rivalry started politically. How are Barcelona free say no more for Fredo de Stefano away. But Franko Naro Emma at the point when you to play and Kakana when you to Kakra. I know so Jigu finally. Alfredo Di Stefano everything bomber Real Madrid, his achievement for Madrid, and how the Catalonians rose against Madrid for believing that Madrid for are supported by the politicians, are supported by the kingsmen and the big guys in Spain, and now it belong to the Madrid. Again, Catalonians no believe it's also because they have the quality and everything to form their national team as well. As against Madrid for again, the number of Barcelona players as to how they perform in the Spanish national team as against Madrid for again, Yasaba Benya era Real Madrid player ba kujina na Barcelona ba kujina ha. No mummy you no compete for Ballon d'Or. Or mummy you no compete for the Obeti Yamani team at the titles. Inti Sani manu na akeka bomu ande dia ba bedru ne. Barcelona fan bia nim se Madrid agile dodo che eye Barca. Barcelona fan bia nim se Madrid agile Champions League dodo che eye Barcelona. But Genoa Barcelona also ability to beat Real Madrid in several occasions. And so to me change the discussion kakra. The 5-0 of Romario, the 5 as against Jose Mourinho, and the last two games of Barcelona and Real Madrid abono. The game ended in 9-2. Again, we had a time when Ronaldo was dominant. We had Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo elsewhere. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. And then Robinho, Lionel Messi. And then Babenya, Vinicius Junior, Rafinha gradually. And so a picky pieces na draw. Lamine Yamal, a young player playing for Barcelona. Endrick has also rise up, Ada Goulet. And a whole lot of issues and are popping up. I'm gonna Babi do say. So it is not an issue of you know what the title spec and I say you know what the Champions League. No, I don't think so. Who put any rivalry together? Manchester United and Liverpool are among the Champions League. Manchester United and Liverpool are among the Champions League. But rivalry all. So where the gap between Liverpool and Everton, huge gap, but the rivalry is there. So who Arsenal and that's all here Tottenham. The rivalry is there, but the gap is huge. Manchester City, Manchester United. So here the number of titles are United war, any titles are City war. But the rivalry is huge. Yeah. So check it, the titles, UEFA Champions League titles are AC Milan war, any there Inter Milan war. Gap with them, but the rivalry is huge. So check it, titles are Juventus war. Now check it there, Torino war. Gap near huge, but general rivalry no war. So now check it, yes, Roman, now check it last year. Rivalry Brazil versus Argentina. Check the number of times we are doing. Look at the quality of material from both sides. Yeah. But you know, arrive in New in the so be the Barcelona to Real Madrid. Nayenko for AC Milan or Bayern Munich or Liverpool. MLS after Madrid, they are the next in command. Everybody knows in Europe after Real Madrid, AC Milan is the next in command. But the reality is that these are two teams in the same country that have produced the very best in the game in recent times. Okay. Ballon d'Or winners and everything have the most powerful presidency. Juan Laporta is huge, Fiorentino Perez is huge, and as a Italy, Italians are Timinia, Dr. Massimo Moratti, Silvio Berlusconi, Adriano Gallioni, Claudio Lotito, Olero De Laurentiis, Sergio Granotti. Now commuting match or managing ra. Omunisika will be out on team. No. Okay. It's a more Makaka these two powerful men in a rule game. No. It is the reason why Barcelona Real Madrid issues will never stop, but it always still the headline day in, day out, and the comparison will continue to go on.
Obet my dream rivalry be a war Ghana. Ha. A war. Nanso gap no. There was a war kind of words I use a huge rivalry no war. But gap between the two clubs no a huge. If you Ghana,
King Faisal Kotoko.
King Faisal Kotoko. Okay. You who rivalry be or
yes.
But gap a dom.
But see gap no look at baby Kotoko na baby King Faisal.
Okay.
Olympics are so folk. And the gap no.
Okay.
But that is an example of
I know the
King Faisal Kotoko.
King Faisal Kotoko anyhow.
See rivalry be anyhow.
No, this is King Faisal ever premiership. I'm premiership.
Mekai can
David and Nadia King Faisal Kotoko dey.
But House of Folk Olympics for me is a perfect example.
Okay.
Anytime, any day. So can that change. Olympics are good Division 1.
Okay.
But Momune has nya FA
rivalry.
The rivalry will be there. Last season we saw it. It was massive.
Kotoko Adriana?
Kotoko Adriana is another one.
Okay.
The gap between Kotoko and Adriana is massive. But the rivalry is solid.
Okay.
It's very solid.
Okay.
It doesn't matter where they are. I think another thing, Nanka Bribi Chemka, Ubeka Bofuni be, but don't mean they say meaning now, baby.
But you be shape as all.
That's all. We share say grass.
As a nations ever but Twaswana.
Nations back in Pfizer, baby.
Okay.
Nations baby and I can Pfizer. And Unkra can be now dilute to the Kotoko nations rivalry. Sometimes back, now a Kotoko corners.
Okay.
Sometimes back. Kotoko is so was saying corners. But the rivalry between the two was huge.
Okay.
Corners they don't be in some players, no university by Kotoko. Eventually they will end up there. But there are a good number of people who also felt say corners is stronger, no more produce players at the Kotoko.
Okay. Kotoko Goldfields Ash Gold. And also
there's another one. Historically, and now say in terms of achievement, the difference was huge. But do baby, not Ash Gold, no Kotoko no. So the Prempreno, Mushiano, Eddie to 20 years. They know baby, Ash Gold was also saying Kotoko. In terms of quality of players, in terms of Sika, in terms of sending any football ni Bibia, at a point in time, not Kotoko players, Ash Gold are more attractive to them than Kotoko.
Okay.
Into after 93 Najman be about penalty seno against Zamalek Wahano.
Yeah.
Did they kakrebi ba ose meko o man kete so straight to high school.
True.
George Remo from Kotoko to high school. Kotoko player. It will be not just high school no. Abeye kesia ya kono sika wom.
Yeah.
Enti it will be general na the rivalry was so massive.
Okay.
Nebe pemine da so ho. Enti Ash Gold ni ho kra no Kotoko the team ko bo ase abanfo feel say omo fans ne de omo ho.
Was no way. So one ma Kotoko Adriana.
Omo fans ne de da so team ni ho, but the fans and the rivalry is still there.
And them home they are.
There be
So noa.
Oh, we need Premier League team. Premier League ne bi ni ha ye de bi gramo. We can be aba na koma na nje.
Yes, stadium ni yi amamo.
Aye ni yi amamo. Ade na say nti. Ya ye bebo ni aye ni yi amamo. Edu weekend entertainment ni ya ye de Kotoko na ba na. Asum na beto na asum, but the heart will not take it.
Stadium no mpro.
Empro ni kan
empro.
De bi emfa.
Munko.
Nti rivalry ni the general.
Okay.
I think we need to work so well just to make sure that the youth will continue to take over. And this time, we do maybe has no Kotoko rivalry in the crowd, but Buffy be brave.
Okay.
Because the fans na 34 now. O stadium, fine you clearly see one or two young guys are more. But so we mu pa me baby I na metino. So I go you and around. Who say old Kotoko for now? Who the new guys? So we university for no mba be bo mu Germany free mu.
Yeah.
And in central for mba o mu commentary. Who say omo a o stadium na who omo na the old guys na. And general our football need to have those new faces.
Yeah.
I'm free SHS, I'm free university, polytechnics, training colleges, no ma take you over. And yes, I be a beko akoye dada na. Nti omo kwa ye nyam crofo to take over.
Yeah.
Elsewhere the story is not the same.
Sure.
O papa de o park. Nti o papa da achibi no ni wa you take over. na blood na room when you euphoria and everything together and dear Martin crab some you will be running also Coco games but unfortunately in recent time those things are clearly missing.
It's in Ukraine say send your titi footballers as see a titi football fans and so me bra and a dimidi me Chico Stadium for the first time.
Okay.
Kessben so my disease is here.
Okay.
And the ma stadium koye makono and men free hum bi.
Okay.
Enti den na ye ya youth no yebema yen stadium kwaye akono edruba bi na omuden hihye by we below 16 and 15 stadium no ye free. Can we continue? What the encounter na nyankofo akono se oba boy no kro ne no area ho no obedi na chi de naba obefa ba ko mienu de naba. General, I was having a discussion with a gentleman in the US, Mirefi Nidin. Or say, days no, he was an athlete, me penny dinamo, not or KTI.
Okay.
I think sending mates in Samolu to Munia. Half time, no more athletics. It be a half time. Nkayem fan say near Wafa Amas, KTI, Kumasi High, Prempe College, OWAS, about bare for SHS. Until be a half time, or mobile 4x4. Half time, or mobile be 100 meters. Oh, yes, sir, what the boy ba ku kum no mami. One, or more money G athleticism. No, sir, and we enough to bring them to stadium. Schools now, or mutim seba be compete in a be a 4x4 and now 4x100 at half time. I be competitive with a beji school na nkasa teacher for. Athletes ni parents no mo nam fufu beba stadium ni bi. Besides that, you better ma athletics I enkrofo akono. So it's something they have to start looking at. And you see a creative happy hour. Happy hour and how attractive is it to people? Is it not possible? Asante Kotoko, for example, House of Hope, for example, say, oh, you game, Baba Yarakra, they or Tatan tracks, or into every match day, half time, 15 minutes, you know, you were 100 meters. It be a 4x4 top SHS. I will have say it drew on Mumra to America. Now you say and also for another attraction and for man. One, it will give that at least that the ebemo in so because why training. It's another attraction now, a different set of fans at the stadium because you're athletics in the past. Until we can look at some of these things, you innovative ways to bring people to the stadium. Otherwise, yes, here the normal thing there. We can't compete with the European fixture.
Wow. Yɛbɛtoa so na yɛatwetwe nkɔmmɔ yɛnwie sɛn ɛna wo nso adwene ɛkyerɛw ɛfa nsɛm a ɛkɔ so yi ɛho